You can take your wood tool and make sure that some of that clay is blended in. Make him look like a bear. Now I like to add, to make him even a little bit cuter, I usually add a little bit of clay to areas that might need bringing out, like his eyelids and eyebrows. But you don't have to. Right now at this point you could say my bear is done. All I want to do really to make him complete would be to take a little ball of clay and stick it on his back, and that'll be his tail. But there's other things you can do to make your little bear a little more detailed, a little more like a bear, and that's what I mean by adding a little more clay here and there. So I add a little bit to his eyebrows. And again, I just take my little wood tool and I just push it in a little so it all blends together. That's one of the neat things about clay, is you can add and subtract it, and you don't make your paper all messy because we don't have any paper. And I'm going to give him a little bit of fat cheeks. Again, taking just a little bit of ball of clay and add it to his cheek and push it on. Do both sides. I'm trying to make it as even as possible, but if you want to make your bear look kind of funny and make his mouth open or something, you can go right ahead. Oops, it kind of smushed my eye a little. Let me just take my tool and push that in again. So he's got his eyes. There, I always have his little face. Now the next thing I would do is, bears are furry little animals, so I would start drawing on doing fur texture. And texture in clay can be a lot of fun. Again, using a tool to make the eyes, you're pushing it in. Well, you can push things in like to make furry texture. You can use sandpaper or some other thing that you find around. I got a big wire tool, looks like a brush. You can use a paintbrush, and you push that and just kind of draw, and it makes fur. Now I have another bear that's a little farther along, and I've been drawing on the fur texture on him. And then you can see I did part of his face here and part of his body. And the way I'm doing that, again, with just my wood tool, is I lightly draw on the clay. And you kind of just make the hair go every way you want. You can make him have long hair and wavier hair, but push it in a little bit more. Maybe you don't want to spend the time drawing all kinds of hair all over the bear, so you can use big strokes with your tool. And what you're doing again is you're erasing some of the clay, taking it away, so it gives him kind of a furry texture. Now our bear is just a sitting bear. And like I said, if you want him to make him do other things, all you have to do is take your tool. Let's say we want his mouth open. Well, we'll open his mouth. Push his mouth open. Maybe you want it shut, push it back shut. Maybe you want his arms up in the air. Maybe you want him, you can make him holding something, like a little jar. I made a little jar. Bears like honey, so I got a little honey jar for him, and he could be holding on to that. See, there's lots of fun things you can do with just a little bit of clay and a little bit of imagination. It really isn't that hard at all. Well, hopefully your bear turned out to look a little bit like mine. But if it doesn't, don't worry about it. Just keep practicing and have a lot of fun.